display that is at the Capitol. We'll be talking about how Joe Biden's team and the administration is lying about the drones that are out there. Trump is telling the truth. And we'll be talking about a new fraud case in Minnesota. Lots of stuff to get into. See, we already got Marty1967 in the comments. Appreciate you guys tuning in.
Running the dials, as always, Mr. Deep State himself. Dawson, how you doing, Dawson?
I'm doing good. Excited for a trip to New York on Friday. It's going to be a good one.
You guys don't know, but we're sending him out there to get live footage of the drones.
It's true. If I see a drone, I will take a picture of it.
There you go. Deal. Hey, work trip. All right, so if you want to be part of the show, just drop a comment in the comment section on Rumble. You can hit the Rumble rant, interrupt us anytime, and we'll read your comment live on air. For those people that are watching after the fact, join us on Locals and be a subscriber. You can go to truthhurtsnews.com, click on the top, and if you're at truthhurtsnews.com, you might as well sign up for a set of tickets to see Jordan B. Peterson live in St. Paul on January 27th. All you have to do to enter is go to truthhurtsnews.com/JBP as in Jordan B. Peterson. Couldn't do the show without Warren Wessel of Keller Williams Realty. If you're looking to buy a home or sell a home, give my good friend Warren a call at 612-419-7453. And if you're buying a home, give the guys at John Galt Mortgage a chance at financing the home. Go to johngaltmortgage.com, and thank you to Alpine Cabin and St. Cloud. More on those sponsors later in the show. Let's get into it. I'm just too excited about this. Let's start here, Dawson, with the A1. Justin Trudeau is in deep doo-doo. Mm-hmm. And I don't have a problem with that.
About time.
What is wrong with my... Oh, this is a sign of getting old. Now, I... Apologize 1 second. Let me bring my monitor closer. I thought Twitter was going to make it able to be blown up. I'm trying to read Chrystia Freeland's resignation letter, and it's so dang small. It's too small for them to read. So I'm going to go like this. Dear Prime Minister Trudeau, by the way, Prime Minister Trudeau, the leader of the Liberal Party in Canada, right? It has been the honor of my life to serve in government working for Canada and Canadians. We have accomplished a lot together. On Friday, you told me you no longer want me to serve as your finance minister and offered me another position in the cabinet. Upon reflection, I have concluded that the only honest and viable path is for me to resign from the cabinet. By the way, starts out like just any other blank, lame, boring-ass letter of resignation. Right. Then the spice comes. Mm-hmm. To be effective, a minister must speak on behalf of the Prime Minister and with his full confidence. In making your decision, you made clear that I no longer credibly enjoy that confidence and possess the authority that comes with it. For the past number of weeks, you and I have found ourselves at odds about the best path forward for Canada. Our country today faces a grave challenge. The incoming administration of the United States is pursuing a policy of aggressive economic nationalism, including a threat of 25% tariffs. We need to take that extremely seriously, that threat. That means keeping our fiscal powder dry today so we have the reserves we may need for a coming tariff war. That means eschewing costly political gimmicks which we can ill afford and which makes Canadians doubt that we recognize the gravity of the moment. That means pushing back against America First economic nationalism with determined effort to fight for capital investment and job they bring. Okay, I'm going to end it right there. Mm-hmm. So Justin Trudeau, this is Canada, okay? They don't elect Justin Trudeau per se. They elect the plurality of the governing party, which is a plurality. It's not even a majority in Canada, right? Mm-hmm. So Trudeau is the leader of the Liberal Party, and she is a big part of the Liberal Party. I don't know. Is this like Obama with Hillary Clinton? What's a good example? Something like that?
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, to the Treasury Department. So, I mean, I can't even think of who Trump just appointed. But, yeah, it's a huge deal for that person to be resigning. And, Justin Trudeau was the one who was just trying to shame the United States of America for electing Trump. And, the feminist Justin Trudeau was saying that we needed to have a woman, Kamala Harris. Well, here he is having his own problem with a woman where he is firing her and removing her from her post. So, it just shows that, these people are ridiculous. He is desperate at this point, and she was about to report that the Canadian government was experiencing another deficit. That was the report.
$20 billion?
Right, so they were supposed to report that to the Parliament that day. She resigns. The next person in line resigns. So it's looking more and more like nobody has confidence in Trudeau, even the other parties that are affiliated with him and giving him a majority government.
Yeah, and that's a great point. She is in charge of essentially the Treasury Department. What I was trying to say in terms of her prestige inside the party, it's kind of like a Obama-Hillary Clinton deal. I think, but my best read on Canadian politics, she's got a lot of prestige in the party. So imagine Hillary resigned in the face of Obama. It wouldn't be like, oh, we're all on Obama's side, right? There'd be like kind of a split in factions. That's what you're seeing in Canada. Now, just so you understand, Chrystia Freeland is not like some great person. Like, this is not somebody that we're like, oh, she's doing all the right things. This is who she is. Let's go to the A2. This is who she is. She presided as the finance minister over the trucker protest. And look, this is a clip of her laughing about these people getting their bank accounts shut off.
Accounts have been frozen. So you're confirming that accounts have been frozen, both personal and corporate, but you're not releasing the information. And the actual follow-up is, I'm just wondering whether the bank accounts will be targeted of individuals who donated to the Give, Send, Go and the GoFundMe campaigns. Are they considered designated people under the Emergencies Act, meaning that their credit cards could be cut and financial services are targeting them as well?
Okay, so the names of both individuals and entities, as well as crypto wallets, have been shared by the RCMP with financial institutions, and accounts have been frozen, and more accounts will be frozen. Crowdfunding platforms and payment service providers have started the registration process with FinTrack. In terms of the specifics on whose accounts are being frozen, you now have the regulations. The financial service providers have those regulations as well, and they, working with law enforcement, will be making the operational decisions.
All right, so that's who she is. I mean, let's just be honest. It would be a great thing for this world if all the COVID tyrants went down in a storming heap of crap, right? And Justin Trudeau, obviously one of the top ones globally, let alone Joe Biden, let alone the Governor Wallses of the world, Gretchen Whitmer, Gavin Newsom, all these governors, you know, Trudeau, Gavin Newsom. God, how many times are we going to use that joke today? I mean, that's literally the incoming president of the United States joking about Canada being a state and Trudeau being a governor. We'll get into that in a second. But these guys should be going down. They all should be going down. So she resigns, and it's splintering the Liberal Party in Canada, which gets to choose its prime minister. I don't know how this really gets decided, because it's not like a president of the United States who's duly elected by the people. Obviously, it wasn't like that from the founding of this country, but nowadays we have a direct election. It still goes to electoral college, but we all vote on the president of the United States, right? We don't vote in a Republican governing party and then they choose who their leader is, right? So I'm guessing they just replace their prime minister if he resigns. We're on resignation watch right now in Canada. It's so fun.
Yeah. No, I mean, when all these tyrants are not on the same page anymore, that tells you it's the end. Because if he can't keep all of his people on the same page, which he's done, you know, he's been the prime minister for like 12 years. He's been in there for a really long time. And so if he can no longer keep it together, and like I said, I think his name's Jagmeet Singh, who leads the progressive wing of, another party in Canada.
Different party, yep.
Right, a different party. And
not a conservative party.
Right, and that guy, you know, he's a pompous, arrogant a-hole as well. But the fact that he's no longer going to allow this government to function, it shows that, you know, I hope that Trudeau just resigns. They have a quick election. There won't be election,
will there? Or would it be an internal caucus election?
There's a 2025 election scheduled.
Yeah, that's true. There's an election. So this was going to happen anyhow. By the way, the Conservative Party is winning by 20 points over the Liberal Party. So, yeah, they're going to have an historic election.
There was actually, one of the problems that happened to the Conservatives in the last election was there was the People's Party in Canada, which was an actual Conservative Party because the Conservatives had abandoned all of their values and people were seeing that there wasn't anything to actually vote for. There was a gentleman who was Maxime Bernier. He created this party that was actually conservative. He was actually going to fight the immigration and whatnot. he took, a good percentage, 5% or so of the population. I don't think he won any votes. But now that they have Pierre Poilievre as the leader of the Conservative Party, it shows that conservatives actually have something to vote for. It's the first time in a while that the conservatives have actually had a leader who could be seen as the prime minister in the future here. So he's obviously talented. He's won the conservatives back to his side, and it looks like it's going to be a landslide when it happens in 2025.
He doesn't seem to be a big fan of Trump, though, by the way. At least
Well, he's got his own style. He's like a Mike Johnson, and Canada, they're never going to get a Trump, unfortunately.
Because he looks like Mike Johnson?
But, he looks like Mike Johnson. It's the same kind of thing. He's the leader of the party in the parliament. So, he's got his own style. It's more of a intellectual, own reporter style rather than just in-your-face style like Trump. So, different strokes for different folks. If he can get elected, I got no problem with it.
All right, so let's go to the A3. This is actually Pierre on the House of Commons floor. Yes, I think it's yesterday. It's got to be yesterday. Speaking and calling for the resignation of Justin Trudeau.
Underline the chaos we're faced with here. The finance minister resigned the day she was to present the fall budget, which was going to contain a massive deficit overrun. The job then went automatically to the industry minister, who immediately resigned, like on the spot, which then went down the line, and the next person in order was the famous two Randys. And they're not available to do the job either. We're now less than 2 hours away from the fall economic update. Why won't the Prime Minister have the courage to come in here, present it himself, and put it for a confidence vote tonight?
Don't you just love British and Canadian parliaments? The cheering, the jeering.
Yeah.
While the leader of the opposition continues to play.
By the way, stop right there. I mean, this lady makes Anne put me to rest seem high energy. This is like speaking on behalf of Justin Trudeau, who couldn't be bothered to be there that day. By the way, a member of the parliament, right? He is the governing or the leader of that party, and the MPs they call him in Canada. All right, so this is Canada's version of Anne put me to rest.
This place. We look forward to presenting the fall economic statement later this afternoon that will have a series of important measures for Canadians, things that are going to help them with the affordability challenges, that are going to put Canada, Canadian jobs, and the Canadian economy first. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
People can't afford their groceries. People can't find a home to call their own. And the Conservatives are laughing. Order! Just another
The honourable member from Burnaby South from the top, please.
Canadians literally cannot afford the groceries they need. They can't afford to find a home to call their own. And now Trump, buddies of the Conservatives, MAGA Conservatives love this guy, Trump is threatening hundreds of thousands of jobs in Canada. And the Prime Minister is more focused on himself, on infighting.
Okay, now stop real quick. So you see, this is the leader of the New Democratic Party. So it's not a conservative outfit. It's not a conservative party, right? So you understand that. So he starts out, he's slamming the Conservative Party in Canada. And just so you guys understand, Canadian conservative is not the same as a conservative in the United States.
Right.
I mean, they're more closely aligned than the Liberal Party or the New Democrat Party, but they're not the same. But anyhow, it's the right party in Canada. This guy starts out slamming them, and then, hey, Justin Trudeau should not be in office anymore. This is Canada. Continue playing.
Not remain in that position. Will he resign?
So he's asking for the resignation. I'm going to save you the rest here of the, bickering between the two parties. No different than what would happen in America at this point. The fact is, you can see the leader of two different parties calling for the resignation. That's not the craziest thing in the world. Then it comes out that there was a caucus meeting last night of the Liberal Party which is not a majority party, by the way. It just has the plurality of the votes. They had the most votes, was like 35 to 32 or something like that. I can't remember what the numbers are. And so they have some members of that party also calling for Justin Trudeau's resignation. I guess the way to describe this would be like the Senate, the leader of the Republicans are calling for resignation. Bernie Sanders. No, what's her name down in Arizona? She's independent. She's more independent than Bernie Sanders. Sinema, yeah, calling for resignation. Bernie Sanders not independent. Right. Well, that's so dumb. And then you would have like a couple people like John Fetterman calling for the resignation of Joe Biden, essentially, I guess is the best way to put it. Or maybe in this case it'd be asking for Chuck Schumer to resign. I don't know. Mm-hmm. So then we get Justin Trudeau on the streets. I think this is actually coming out of the caucus meeting. This is the A4 Dawson, dodging some questions from media. Obviously, this is what he's now dealing with in Canada.
No, what gives you the right to continue? What gives you the right to stay in office? Thank you. You failed Canada. You've ruined our country. You're done. Walk away. You don't have an ounce of your father's integrity. At least he walked in the snow. You've ruined this country. Everyone around you is running from you. You're abandoning you. Christian Freeland, Sean Fraser, they've all left you. It's time for you to go. It's time for Canada to have an election. You're not the king.
Don't you just love it when tyrannical politicians get treated that way from their citizens? I just love it. Absolutely love it. Maybe he'll exile down to Cuba where his father's from.
Mm-hmm. And it would be interesting to actually hear what was going on in that caucus meeting. And yeah, I know his father's Fidel
I'm just
Castro.
looking at pictures. They look too similar.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see what goes on in that caucus meeting because a lot of it's all done behind the scenes and because all that you'll ever see on camera while they're in Parliament is everybody just nodding their heads to whatever their party leader is saying. Because if you don't sit there and nod your head, if you start to think for yourself and go against what the party is saying, they kick you out because it's completely ruled by the party. So you're not allowed to have any real individual expression or individual thoughts in there. It's completely up to following the lead of your leader, and that's the problem with the parliamentary system.
Well, and the thing is, politics is pretty much the same all over the world. There's just little nuances and differences. I mean, like in America, we generally settle things peacefully, where the power adjudication in other places is done by the end of the sword. In Canada, it's done with snowball fights. I don't know. But did I get you to laugh on that one, Dawson?
Yeah, you got me on that one.
I gotcha.
I love making fun of Canadians. It's so much fun.
I love Canada, by the way. I used to love Canada. It sucks that we have a communist country above us. But I actually am glad to see this woke piece of shit feminist being on the last legs. Oh, by the way, why I went on this topic is politics is similar all over the place. And essentially, if you can't show that you're a political survivor, if you can't show that you're going to continue in power, or the people that around you are going to be in power, basically your party, they're going to kick you to the side. They don't care about you. You're a goner. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, that's what happened with Joe Biden. Can we just be honest about this? This is why we predicted it on the show a year ago that they were going to get rid of Joe Biden. We thought it was going to be done at the convention. They did it just before their convention. But we predicted they were going to get rid of Joe Biden. We thought it was going to be a health concern. I guess technically that was right. It was a health concern on Joe Biden. And the reason they were going to get rid of Joe Biden is because of polls. I mean, somehow the polls were somewhat close with Kamala and Trump, right? The pollsters weren't that far off. That's why I actually predicted the election for Trump, because I thought the polls are almost even with a slight advantage for Trump, meaning he's probably got another 3 or 4 points. They weren't wildly off like they were in 2016, 2020.
I think the polls, of course, inflated Kamala's support.
Yes, I'm saying that, but they were much closer than they were in the past.
Right, but, the only reason they did that was to make sure the Kamala people turned out. If they would have given accurate polls, then Kamala's results would have been even worse than they were.
Some. I mean, that's what they're going to be. That's what Trump's going to argue in the case of the Des Moines Register. Yeah. But
right, because that one was ridiculous to say that Kamala was going to win Iowa. That was pure propaganda.
We knew it was ridiculous. I don't know if that lawsuit has any merits, to be honest with you. I haven't looked into it, but we didn't fall for that for a second.
I wonder if they're going to lose all their credibility and then get shut down or whatever.
No, she's already retired as a pollster.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Good. Des Moines Register is the one that was trying to run it to sway. Mm-hmm. But you can't, our read on Iowa was Trump had over 10 points in Iowa. It's like, You can't sway it by a fake poll. Like that is so utterly dumb. I don't know if I don't know much about that case.
They did that to tell everybody there's going to be a blue landslide tomorrow. So that's what they did because they put it out like the night before the election or something. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think there's maybe something to do about it.
Maybe I don't know. Why did I get down that subject here? Why was I talking about that? Politics was the same. I was saying politics same. Let's go to failed candidates comment here. I was at a bar in Moose Jaw. What's this all about?
Yeah, nearly got in a fight when I blurted out, "Women in Canada are either whores or hockey players." I was about to get killed before I asked what position did his mom play. It happens.
I really can't remember why I got on the subject of the poll. Oh, I was on the polls. Trump was leading the polls. That's why we guessed Trump's victory was going to happen. I was going somewhere with that.
With the Biden ousting.
Biden ousting. There we go. Now we're back on track. Oh, thank God. Thank you so much. Because I hate when I forget the stuff. All right. So we guessed Biden's ousting was going to happen because his poll numbers were going to keep going down through the floor. Remember, when Trump got out, Trump was winning the majority of the battleground states by, I think it was like 7.5 points or something like that. It was ridiculous. That election wasn't even going to be close. So let's not even argue about when Kamala got in and inflated. The one point is, it's very clear Biden was not going to do well against Donald Trump. That's why they kicked him out. If Biden was up by 5 points, they wouldn't have kicked him out, even if he had a bad debate performance. He could shat his pants in front of a camera,
right,
like Jerry Nadler did. Like, it wouldn't matter. They would have still kept him there, He could have fainted like Mitch McConnell or hit his head like Nancy Pelosi or cooked a raw burger with cheese on it like Chuck Schumer. My God, these lizard people. All right, so anyhow, I did see someone make a comment, Billy Tutu, Trudeau will always have a home in Cuba. That's right, with your father, Fidel Castro. This is what Trump put on Truth Social. I mean, it's amazing. This is the guy that's going to be the next president of the United States, the strongest power in the world. He writes, by the way, this is after already trolling Justin Trudeau when he came to see him. The great state of Canada is stunned as the finance minister resigns or was fired from her position by Governor Justin Trudeau. Her behavior was totally toxic and not all conducive to making deals which are good for very unhappy citizens of Canada. She will not be missed. Great state of Canada, Governor Justin Trudeau. My God, this is the incoming president of the United States.
Right. And that's the thing. Obviously, Canada can work with Trump and, figure out a solution, because when Trump went into the G7 summit, everybody was saying, this guy is nuts. He wants to tariff everybody. He comes in the next day and says, how about we do no tariffs for anybody? Let's go 100% free trade across the board. And then that's where the problems came up, because the rest of the country said, oh, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. So Trump says, okay, if we're not going to do free trade, let's do fair trade then. I'll make sure that we're getting our piece of the pie too. So Canada needs to realize that either come to the table, do what Trump says, or we're going to tariff you 25%. That's the way it goes.
Right. And by the way, the tariff issue, for the most part, is about the drugs and the illegal crossings at the Canadian border, which is insane. We always know about the southern border, but it's become a bigger deal. I was hunting up in the Ely area a couple years ago and ran into Border Patrol. Like, that was shocking to me to actually run into these people. They always have the Border Patrol signs up there in the Bondurars, but it's like, who's canoeing through here to come in illegally? But apparently it's a big uptick actually along the Canadian border. Rodeo 55, glad to have you back. They said nice to make it live for a while. It has been a while, Rodeo 55. Thanks for joining us again. All right, this segment's been brought to you by Warren Wessel of Keller Williams Realty. If you're looking to buy a home or sell a home, you give a good guy that believes the same things like you and me your business, and he's a damn good realtor, by the way. 612-419-7453. Satanism at the Capitol. Let's get into this story.
Yeah, and I see Andy Parrish, RF, says on Rumble here, Jake and I kicked the asses of freedom from religion, so I can't wait to see what this Satanism is. So let's get right into it.
Well, you know what he's referring to is we organized back in, I think it was like 2017, against this this basically atheist group down in Belle Plaine, Minnesota, and they wanted to stop a veterans monument from being erected in the public square. And you know what the monument was? It was that classic soldier kneeling in front of a gravestone marker. So because the gravestone marker is a cross, a Christian cross, they said this was a religious symbol, which is a ridiculous statement. So it, like, offended not only Christians, but it offended veterans. Like, how would you not do that? It was a veterans memorial. Like, ridiculous. So yeah, we kicked their butts.
Yep. So Dawson, let's go ahead and pull up the A1. We can check out the actual display. I'm sure a lot of people are already aware of this, but there is a satanic display that is within the Capitol building of the Minnesota Capitol. It is a phoenix with a pentagram with paper cranes hovering over the bird. So as you can see, that's what it looks like, and that's what is being pushed out there. That's from the Minnesota Satanist Facebook page themselves. So they're the ones who are putting this. According to them, they say, quote, the display symbolizes rebirth, empowerment, and self-determination. The phoenix represents transformation and rising stronger from adversity, mirroring the poem's call for liberation and personal triumph. The paper cranes symbolize hope and wishes, reinforces of the power of intention and renewal. Together, they will inspire viewers to embrace their own strength and manifest their desires and reclaim their agency. So they're spinning this as like it's some kind of positive thing. And let me tell you what the leader of it is saying. He says, quote, our goal was representation, bringing joy and beauty to the community, as well as utilizing our First Amendment right. We chose the state capitol because we wanted to utilize a location that allows for religious plurality and equal opportunity and representation are important to our beliefs, yada, 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 yada. So he's going on, saying religious plurality. Well, the only problem with this is that it's not a religion. Let's go ahead and pull up the website, Dawson, on B2, because, even according to their own words, this isn't something that they're worshiping. This is obviously something that they're using as a troll, and
well, it's a hoax, right?
It's a hoax,
yeah,
right?
They're basically not serious. They were trying to make a mockery of organized religion. In this case, the people that probably most offended is Christians, because it's the holy holiday, Christian holiday,
right?
Christmas, the birth of our Lord and Savior.
Right, and obviously they're intending to do this around Christmas. They wanted it for this display for that reason, and obviously this is, completely to go against Christianity. So, within this website they say, we are a community of non-theistic Satanists. Okay, so non-theistic, that means that it's not a religion. That means that it's not, so
a belief in a higher power.
Right, and
God.
so I think, this isn't a freedom of religion issue because this isn't a religion. And, if that's the case, then, what's stopping a pedophile religion from putting something up in the Minnesota State Capitol? Because then they could say, oh, well, it's a religion. No, this is a mockery of religion. And therefore, I think it should not be allowed in the Capitol. So we should wonder, who then approved of this permit? Dawson, let's go.
Well, hold on. So hold on. Let's dive a little deeper. Go down a bit, because I was reading this yesterday. Because it's not just that it's not a theocratic religion. They don't believe in a deity. They actually don't believe in anything. So it says, who we are, Minnesota Satanists, is a common community-focused group of like-minded individuals who gather under common beliefs and values. Which could be a political party, by the way. Although, well, is it? No kidding. Although we venerate the literary figure of Satan, we do not believe they are a real entity. By the way, do you like how they don't even refer to him in the masculine?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Tiptoe around it.
Yeah, Satan's pronouns.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We're so worried about Satan's pronouns. Even though we don't believe in Satan, we better not say Satan's a man or a woman, which clearly it's referred in the masculine pronoun. Oh, my God. What woke Olympics here.
Right.
We don't believe they are a real entity, nor do we worship them. If we were to worship anyone, we would say we worship ourselves and those we care about. Just as it is common for Christians to accuse other groups and individuals of actively worshiping the devil, many of our members are othered and told that they are less than because of differences they cannot control, such as race, gender, or sexuality. There you go. Gender identity, by the way. Gender identity or sexuality. Boy, it seems like a very ultra-conservative group out there, doesn't it? All right, continue on. Sorry, Jesse.
Right.
I just thought we had to point that out.
Yeah, no, I think so too, because, I mean, obviously what I think this is it's just people who used to be Christian who are have all this pent-up aggression and anger And maybe they had strict parents or something, and now this is how they
or
get it out.
never had it, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I should note that we did invite them on the show today. Reached out yesterday, never heard back from them, but I was willing to listen to them. I even, full disclosure, said we're not on your side. We disagree with this thing, but we'll bring you on and let's learn more about it. But never heard back.
Right, and so and it says at the very bottom of this thing, and actually when you click on the events of this too, so it says, go and click the events first. So people can go on their website. They're even doing something right here in Roseville at 6 p.m. on this Thursday. So if anybody wants to actually go and see who these people are, I don't know if they actually want their names and persons out there, but if they want to be able to display something out in the Minnesota Capitol, they should have enough dignity and self-respect to show their faces. If they want to stick this out there and be free speech warriors, well, show us your face then. So people can discover that. But at the bottom of this, it says that it's created by this Cerberus Ministries, and I looked up what Cerberus was. It's a multi-headed dog that guards the gates of the underworld to prevent the dead from leaving. So
look at that. Look, hold up a second. They host a booth at Twin Cities Pride to support LGBTQ plus congregants.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So,
they sound a lot like the ELCA.
Yeah. Yep. So obviously these people are insane, but so we have to wonder, who was it that approved of these people to be at the Minnesota Capitol? Dawson, let's go ahead and pull up the B3 so that people can see that it was the Facilities Management Division of the Capitol. These people right here. Go ahead and scroll down, show these people's names, because those are the people to contact. If you are upset about this, you need to reach out to those people right there. I actually called the Facilities Management Division office myself, and I asked them if they were the ones who approved of the satanic display, and they confirmed with me over the phone that yes, they were the ones who approved of it. So I just sent them an email. I said, "Hello, my name is Jesse Smith, and I am requesting the following information from your office. 1, the permit request paperwork for the satanic display at the Capitol building. 2, the permit approval from your office. 3, any written communication between your office and the group who requested this display. And number 4, any other documentation related to the permitting and or approval of this display. Please let me know when I will receive this information by. God bless, Jesse Smith." So, those are the people who are responsible for this. They apparently feel as if they were, kind of painted into a corner, that they had to approve of this for religious First Amendment reasons. But considering that this is a mockery of religion, I don't know how you could necessarily classify that as religion. And then the last thing we'll look at here, Dawson, go ahead and pull up the B5 and see on their actual Twitter that apparently, so these people are all about free speech, right? So they care a lot about free speech, but they're saying, we will no longer be posting here. Find us where the skies are blue. Handle is Minnesatan. See you there. So they're now on Blue Sky, which I hear is the social media for pedophiles, libtards, and apparently now Satanists. And I went onto their Blue Sky to see what it was actually looking like. They're getting much more support there. It looks like they're around their kind of people. And, I think that probably Twitter or X is a better place without them. But it's just interesting that even the Satanists, the ones who are all about free speech, are having a problem with Elon Musk and the idea of having a social media that's actually free speech. So it just shows the duplicity, and that these people aren't actually about free speech, that they just want to troll Christians.
Okay, so
and it shouldn't be allowed in the Capitol, I think. I say that it should not be allowed in the Capitol because I don't consider it a freedom of religion thing. Really, all that should be going on at the Capitol building is a Christmas tree.
Okay, so first of all, I don't think these guys are Satanists, right? You just said they're Satanists. Would you call them Satan? What is a Satanist?
Anyone who self-identifies as a lover of Satan.
You can self-identify as a woman, as a dude, but you're not a woman, right? You're still a man.
Right, but
so it doesn't matter if you self-identify as a Satanist. And in this case, you're identifying as a Satanist as a troll, right? You're trolling. It's like a parody account almost, right? So it's not like these. If you say you're a fake Elon Musk, you're not Elon Musk because you say you are. They literally say they're not Satanists. I don't know if Satanist really is a thing. I guess I'm not well researched on this, right? Is there actually a Satanist? Because to be what I would consider Satanist, someone that believes and worships Satan, means that you actually believe in the scriptures. You believe where the dark angel came from. So you have on one hand God, you have heaven and God, and you have hell run by Satan. And you look at these two things and you go, I'm going with this one, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, is there really Satanist?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you really think so?
Oh yeah, I mean, even in Islam, there were branches of Satanism that not as common now, but I mean, I know in history there definitely was. And
but hold on, wouldn't that be incongruent with Islam, meaning that they're not Muslim because they believe in Satan?
It doesn't mean that they're
worship Satan. I should say. I shouldn't say
counter.
Believe in Satan. These guys don't even believe in Satan. That's what I'm saying. They're not Satanists. But I'm saying, to be a Satanist, not only do you have to believe in Satan, but you would choose him as your master. You choose him as the guy to worship. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, choose they as the person to worship.
Yeah. No, I think, like you're saying, for the majority of these people, it's a troll. But, of course, there are a few people out there that are demented and, of course, choose Satan.
Oh, my friend Nick says Satanists aren't people who worship Satan. They're followers of the Satanic Bible, which was written by Anton LaVey in the 1960s. I don't know much about it, honest to God. Mm-hmm. The religion they follow was written by a man in 1904 who said the beast 666 told him to form the religion. But you guys know what I'm saying? It's like you'd have to understand either. Well, I would imagine it's in the Jewish religion. Yeah, it is because it's an Old Testament. Satan.
So Jewish stuff in Satanism is you can study it, but it's not traditionally studied by very many people because it's like, why do we care about what Satan has to think?
I know, but the roots come from Judaism.
Well,
so
yeah,
meaning you don't just have to be a Christian to believe in believe that Satan is
right. The whole
entity.
idea of Satan in Judaism is that it's like the evil inclination, the voice in the back of your head saying, "Eat bacon" or whatever, you know.
Right.
That's the personification of what it is.
So that's what I'm saying is it seems like Satanists and maybe Nick, there's something I just don't know, but it's like, do people really go, I want to worship the Dark Lord? Like,
I don't think that they know what it means. I don't.
Right, they don't know what it means, or they're having fun. They're playing, but they wouldn't actually, because if you really believe your salvation is given to someone that's going to burn you in a fiery pit for eternity, why would anyone sign up for that?
I think that a lot of it is the aesthetic, where it's like the cool thing to do, to be like putting on dark makeup or whatever. Goth. The thing is with religion, like even I don't know about legally, but like the definition of religion is so incredibly vague that anything can be a religion, right? So
right.
I kind of share my mom's opinion when it comes to religion and government stuff, where it's just the government building shouldn't have anything. Just don't have it, and then you're fine. You don't have to think about it.
Well, in some regards, it's actually fitting for a government building to have satanic symbols, right?
There you go.
Yeah, right. And I'm hearing not all the Democrat legislators are happy about it, but they, even the Republican ones, everybody needs to be put on record about this and say what they think about it. Ron Krisha, apparently thinks you can pray it away. I don't think that's the answer. So this thing is supposed to be up from December 13th to the 27th, and there's, I don't know. I think that I'm hearing that some of these Democrats are not happy about it, but do something about it then.
Well, so maybe we differ on this, but I wouldn't fully disagree with the pray it away. I don't think that's the right way to put it. You're dealing with people that are aware of the Christian faith, right? And they decide to mock it. Okay, so we can all admit that's what's going on here, right? They say it on their website. So they're mocking people, and they're doing it at the time where it's like going to cause the most strife. It's during the Christian holiday of Christmas, the supposed birth of Christ, even though it definitely didn't happen during December. Doesn't matter. It's symbolic of a great event in history, the birth of Christ. And so they're mocking it. Isn't the right thing to do is to extend, hand, or like to what's the word I'm trying to say? What am I trying to say? Like, well, to proselytize, to share your faith to some degree. Isn't that the approach here?
Yeah, I can't.
Because my thinking is
God didn't send his son to the world to condemn it. He sent his son to the world to save it. I think is
well, no, I mean, I'm not saying what you do what Jesus did. I'm saying like your job here is maybe more like I think what these guys are probably doing is set a trap and want you to go to the courts and want the courts to rule that religion shouldn't be any part of government, right? And instead, Andy goes, how do you even make bread with that?
Oh, yeah, it was pretty
break
gross.
bread. And the bread they eat is supposed to, I thought you were saying break bread.
I don't know if that's true, but
by the way,
if it was.
Don't come to the show if you think we've got all the answers. We're just trying to react and kind of how my mind thinks. But it's like at some point, you have lost souls. The people literally on this website say that they don't worship a deity, they worship themselves. That's kind of bad.
It's a big thing in
really
Judaism where humility is like probably the most important thing when it comes down to it. So when you have a religion like this that focuses on yourself, that's like probably the most satanic you can get, right?
Exactly. There you go. Okay, so it's like the idea they're using Satan's a troll, but the real damage here is not that they actually believe in Satan, okay? It's the fact that they're lost and that they actually have prioritized, like everyone else on the left, the belief in your self-truths, right?
I think it's important.
And you don't believe in a higher power, and when you don't believe in a higher power, bad things happen. Is organized religion bad? It is not bad. It's actually great. Now, you can have organized religion that's bad, but organized religion's great. It does amazing things. The lack of religion is a very bad thing. And you know who wants the lack of religion? Are communist countries, the Marxists. Okay? I mean, we could go on and on about how this is just another Marxist footprint of the overall progressive left. With some shock value. Not that they're actually worshiping Satan. They're doing it as a shock value. The real problem here is that they are worshiping themselves. They literally say it on their website. So what would be the reaction? And I see that a lot of people are showing up at the Capitol tomorrow. I think it's like 1 or something like that. We should send the cameras there, by the way. They're going to sing Christmas carols around it. I love that idea, right?
As long as you're not going about it in like a, haha, screw you, we're going to sing at you anyways. Because that's like the number one thing that drove them away from religion, right? Is most likely a bad experience with religion, whether it's, you know, someone abusing them or a pastor that was being rude or whatever. And so my idea, or the Jewish idea, I guess, more so, is just be like good. And then they see, oh, wait, this Jewish person is like really cool. And they're inviting me over for Hanukkah dinner. Okay, let me try it out. And then you go and they're like, oh, this isn't evil like I think it is. That's typically the...
Yeah, we got a $5 rumber ant. Tucker91 says Satanism is not a religion. Destroy it. And I'm more in that line of thinking here. You know, I think it's great to sing about it. I'd rather see someone destroy it.
No, it's not singing about it. It's about singing and showing. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, the people that are behind this are
outnumbered.
Yeah, but they're lost souls, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's like. I mean, obviously, I have no love lost if someone destroys this terrible thing, because it's not a serious thing, right? You're not defacing a cross, which really has a symbol that means something. This symbol means absolutely jack shit to it. Let's just be honest. By the way, if I'm wrong on this, you guys respond to it, and we'll bring it on the show. We'll talk about it. But it doesn't mean anything to these people. They're just trying to make a mockery. So instead of making destroying a mockery and feeding into it, isn't the right thing to do is to show
how good it is,
how good your religion is, especially at this time of year. It's almost like the Grinch story. You know what I'm saying? Because these guys are kind of the Grinch.
A little bit.
The Grinch had an evil heart. He was a terrible individual that wanted to ruin Christmas for the town. Who had this on their bingo card? Jake would be talking about the Grinch on the show. And what ended up happening is he didn't kill Christmas spirit after stealing their presents. Instead, they joined hands and sang. And it changed the Grinch.
That just seems like not tried and true, but it seems like a more effective way than destroying them all.
Yeah, because this is not. I mean, I know this is. I know you guys, some of the people in the comments are going to disagree with me, but this is not a political thing here anymore. They want you to fight this on that turf. They want this to be a political or something that's going in the courts. That's what they want. I don't know if it is. I mean, you've got lost souls at this point. Isn't the better thing to do not to? The fact that this even happens means that government's not the solution, right?
Well, don't you think
if we get the government to take it out?
Should they have ever been given this permit? Should the facilities management division ever have given them this permit?
No, because we shouldn't give permits to hoaxes and trolls. That's dumb. I mean, if they're going to give a permit to them, we have a religion. It's called the Never Walls religion.
Yeah.
Let's try it out, Jesse. Should we do it? The Never Walls religion.
Yeah, might as
You know,
well.
by the way, we actually still have the other. We sold one sign or auctioned off one sign to the state fair. Let's do the other sign. We already have our Christmas display. Let's reach out, and our Never Walls religion is going to go up to state capitol.
Well, I was
because
curious.
that's what it is. It's a mockery.
I was
right?
curious about it because it doesn't seem like something that should be able to get a permit. The only reason I can guess they might have gotten it is because they are legally listed as a 501 whatever.
Well, we can get Action for Liberty do it. They're a 501c4, so they could do it.
I mean, that would be the only reason I can guess they actually made it in there. I personally don't think government buildings should have anything like that, but I don't know. It's weird. But it's
Billy Tutu. How about we don't give permits and condone anything evil? I don't know. That's a tough one. Seems like all the Democrat permits that are going towards evil these days. Jeez.
Yeah.
No, it's a hoax. We just got to be honest about it. They're not actually people. It's not a religion, as Jesse eloquently put.
Definitively.
So it's
again, the religion definition is so vague that anything could be a religion.
Well, in the sense that that you actually believe in a deity, and they don't. They don't believe in a God.
You know, Scientology is considered a religion right now, but I mean, I think they should have their tax status revoked because they're not a religion. It's another scam group that's preying on people for money. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know what the right way of going about that is, because obviously you want to. I have no problem with churches being tax deductible, that they can tax free. But yeah, you have to have some parameters to what gets classified and what's not, because from what I hear, the IRS is you know, in bed with Scientology for whatever reason, and there's a problem there.
Love Minnesota. I missed this comment. Placing a symbol of the phoenix with a pentagram was the display of shitting on Christianity. So that's actually a very good point. And so it's like, once again, can we put like a mockery of Islam at the Capitol? Can we?
You can't even draw Muhammad.
Exactly. Can we draw Muhammad and make a mockery of Islam?
I mean,
that wouldn't be approved at the Capitol.
No way.
I can't imagine it would be, but I mean, you're allowed to do it because of freedom of speech, right? I would imagine.
But what? No, hold on. Okay.
Well, you can apply.
But hold on. I want to give this example out here. If we did a Never Walls religion at the Capitol, they wouldn't let us do it, right?
I would imagine you have to become that 501 whatever group.
No, Action for Liberty is a nonprofit.
I mean, is it a church status?
No, they're going to say it's political. You can't have political symbols at the Capitol, but it's like, then what's political? What if this is my religion?
I guess, can you have a political religion? I don't know if I've
But that's what I'm going to say is, as soon as you did some anti-Islam, as soon as you did some anti-Islam, it would be considered too political. They wouldn't allow you to do. I don't know, Jesse. This maybe is what we do, is we go to them and try all these things out and watch them deny it over and over again. And this is where now let's get political. This is where it's the attack on Christianity. See, like, once again, my reaction to just these Satanists. Actually, Jesse, you've done it perfectly once again. The real focus is on the organization of the Capitol, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's that? The facilities.
The facilities management division.
It's the Satanists. How do you overcome that? You're dealing with people that literally are lost souls, right? Don't fall into their trap. But the people at the Capitol, Facilities Capitol, are openly allowing this mockery of the Christian faith during the holy holiday, right? Mm-hmm. I keep saying holy holiday. I guess that would technically be more in reference to Easter, but the Christmas time, right?
Right.
So, but I mean, we don't even need to. I don't think we need to test this, but I'm pretty sure if you made a mockery of Islam, they would not allow it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they would. They only are okay when it's done with Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is this the Phoenix or whatever, is it mocking the Muslim god? I'd imagine it is. It's not directly mocking the Islam religion because they're going after Christians on Christmas. So
yeah.
But I mean, I would imagine Islam people aren't too happy about it either, right?
I'd hope not.
Yeah, I guess not. That's a good point.
But, and yeah, to the point where, Love Minnesota says if they aren't a religion, why do they get non-exempt tax status? Exactly. And what I'm thinking here, too, is, it's not like they have church services. It's not like they're having a sermon that's, being out there. Basically, all they're doing is selling things on their online shop. Should that be given tax-exempt status? I think that's kind of criminal right there. I think they're violating some kind of laws there. Yeah, I would think that they should have that taken away. And we got some differing opinions here. Terry Times says, Dawson is wrong again. This is a Christian nation. The U.S. and Minnesota constitutions quote the Bible. But K. Liquid says, there are religions like Scientology and extreme sects of Islam, etc., that would want even more repulsive things to be on display than this Satanism imagery.
Right. That's true.
Best answer is no religious imagery. So I can see why people would think that as well, because once you start getting into it, government's got to be a little bit open to it because of the First Amendment, freedom of religion.
Well, hold on. So that doesn't even apply, by the way, to state. That's a misnomer. The First Amendment has two clauses on religion. The first one is the non-establishment clause, which is Congress shall make no law establishing religion. They actually say Congress, referring to the federal government. The Congress, the one that makes laws, can't establish a religion. It has nothing about the Ten Commandments on a building in St. Paul. That's just been a perverted view in the court system for a long time, but that is not at all what it was. Because if it was that way, then they would have said government cannot... I mean, there's two things working against them. Government can't promote a religion. That would be what they would have to write. But in this case, not only do they not say promote, they say establish, meaning they establish one religion. So just having a reference to a religion doesn't establish the religion. You can still practice. Because remember, the other part of the First Amendment is nor prohibit the free exercise thereof. So the government can have a 10 commandments on the wall, but people can openly decide to be Jewish, or they can openly decide to be Muslim, right? So they are still freely exercising religion of their choice. So, yeah, that's a perverted view. There were actually state-sponsored religions at the founding of this country. Like, we have to understand that. All they were doing is stopping the federal government from determining and establishing a religion to all the different states.
That's a la like a Islamic theocracy over in...
Well,
whatever.
I mean, certainly Christian theocracies existed too, back in that time. Sure. But yes, Islamic theocracies are the ones that are currently in place around the world.
Is there a current Christian theocracy? I don't think that there is.
British monarch.
I mean, there is a Church of England, but it's not really a Christian theocracy at all.
Right.
But yeah, certainly there have been in history. What did you say?
Yeah, I said the British monarch, and yeah, I'd figure there's a few in Europe still, but
yeah,
I don't know much about
nothing,
like
nothing
Pope,
with
It's
serious.
clearly not a theocracy in England. Let's just
Right.
put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, but they still have a Church of England, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bellicose critique. This is what happens when people had a constitution written for a homogeneous ethno-state and then embraced multiculturalism and diversity. Well, now we reap what you sow. 1790 Naturalization Act.
I can't read half of those words. Too many syllables.
All right. Well, we'll keep you posted on this story. Once again, go pull up the facilities management. Do we have that still here?
Yes.
Jesse found.
Yep. Yeah. So those are the contacts. You can reach out to them, and if you scroll up, you can see the actual phone number. The top one there, 651-201-2300, and that email above it is the one that I emailed trying to request the information. I still haven't gotten a response yet, but since they confirmed over the phone with me that they were the ones who approved of this permit, and I can't think of any reason why that documentation would need to be kept private. I think that they are required by law to give it to me because I requested it, so I will provide it to the people as soon as I get it.
By the way, highly encourage people to go sing Christmas carols tomorrow. I think that's awesome. I think that's really cool. I love the news would report that they're singing Christmas carols, by the way. And that's the one thing. I remember I did this little thing. I've been like who I am right now all the way going back to high school. And I'll never forget, we had this math teacher, and math was right after choir, okay? Or they got a lunch in between, but it was the first class I had after choir. And so the math teacher said that we're going to do Christmas decorations. For whatever reason, he liked to do Christmas decorations. All of us made it, and then we put them up in the room, okay? But the rule was no religious symbolism. This is a public school. I graduated from Onalaska High School. Well, I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm going to put, and this is me being a high school student, the guy, I wrote, "Happy birthday, Jesus," kind of as like, don't tell me what to do. And of course, everyone thought I was rebellious, and I don't know if it got taken down, but I remember one girl turned around and was like, "You can't do that." And I was just thinking, like, we just sang Christmas songs in choir, like literally mentioning the birth of Christ. Whoa, I mean, they weren't Santa songs, like they were Christian songs. We were singing in choir. So it's like, at least that still exists somewhat in our world. I mean, I'm a little scared that maybe 20 years down the road, that'll get scratched out of, the public, and it'll all be this goofy guy from the North Pole, right? I don't want to mention much more about that in case we have very young listeners on here, because I'm going through in my family right now with my little children, a couple believers and one that's maybe more in line with us. Yes. I wouldn't even put skeptic, probably knows more about it. I'll leave it vague in case we got some young listeners.
I've got an interesting story about that. So when I was in high school, I was in the show choirs and stuff like that, and it was a big part of my schooling stuff. And then Christmas time would come around, and we'd have the magical dinner and then the different, Christmas celebration things. And the part where I started to dislike it when I thought it was getting bad was when we would go up and, what song was it? Something specifically about Jesus. I don't remember. But I raised my hand and was like, "I can't participate in this. I'm Jewish." And she knew it, the director. She said, "That's fine. You can sit out, but it's going to affect your grade, and you can't make it up." That's when I was like, "Oh, that's not nice. That doesn't make any sense to me." And that's when I went to the principal and stuff, and I ended up getting extra credit for something else. But that's when I think it's like, should it affect your grades? Probably not. I'm still butthurt about it.
See, that's what I was saying. It's the Jews, Jesse. It's the Jews.
It's such a weird thing to put on a kid.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to have to see how Ron Latz handles this. He's a Jewish Democrat. Let's see how he acts and what he has to say about this.
Terry, Jake, God does not deceive. Stop equating Christianity and Islam. They are opposite. When did I equate those two? I'm just saying they're both religions. I mean, Islam's clearly a religion, right? So it's a very culty religion. Don't try to leave that one.
One of the big three, right?
But, I mean, they do have a belief in a God, right? So it's different than what we're talking about with these Satanists, so to speak. All right, let's go to this next story. I was so pumped about this, but very good job on that, Dawson. Jesse.
I appreciate
both of you guys.
I took a long time writing it. It's great.
This part of the show brought to you by Brad's like, drones. Let's go, drones. I know. Hear me out on this one. Brought to you by John Galt Mortgage Company. If you're looking to buy a home and need to finance that home, go to the good guys at John Galt Mortgage Company. Go to johngaltmortgage.com. We're also brought to you by Alpine Cabinetry out of St. Cloud, Minnesota. Just FYI. Okay, here we go. Let me get my notes up. I was so excited. I was supposed to work on the first part of this show, and then I just got completely distracted by the drones again. We're going to start. Well, let's just bring you up to speed. This is a news story from the AP. Now, why do I bring up the AP? Because the AP is just a propaganda wing. I get it. However, because they're so opposite of us, they're all over the place. They feed the papers. Let's just show you what the mainstream media is reporting on this thing, because this is not a nothing burger, despite what John Kirby is going to say. This is not a nothing burger. This is from the AP, and they got some pictures, Dawson, so I'm going to have you flip through those pictures as I'm speaking here. A large number of mysterious drones have been reported flying over New Jersey and across the eastern U.S., sparking speculation and concern over where they came from and why. By the way, I just got to say, somehow we all decided that these are going to be called drones. They're really kind of UFOs in the sense that they're unidentified flying objects. We've just started calling them drones, right? I guess that works, but when you say drone, because if you say UFO, it means it has a connotation, right?
Right, and these are bigger than what you would think of
as a drone. They're not like I got a kid that told Santa he wants a drone, right, with a camera on it. Like, That's not what these are. These are some like the size of an automobile, they say.
They reused this picture.
Did they really?
Yeah, this is the same picture.
Oh, yeah, zoomed out. Are those the only 3 pictures they show there?
I mean, only 2, yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, fair enough. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy and U.S. Senator Andy Kim have both gone out on drone hunts, hoping for answers. Boy, you know what? We should organize a drone hunt. That sounds like a rocking good time. Flask it up, go walk in the woods in the dark, and look for drones.
Yeah, I hear someone sent their own drone up to, try to see what was going on with these. And the drone itself completely turned off. The batteries went dead, and it dropped to the ground. So there's some sketch going on.
Dropped to the ground?
Yeah, somebody...
But they didn't find it?
No, they got their own, drone, but...
no, but you say it dropped to the ground, meaning...
Like, the other drone turned it off.
No, so I know what you're talking about, but I didn't hear it drop to the ground.
Yeah,
so because like, they dropped to the ground, then why didn't someone go pick it up?
What do you mean? No, I'm not saying one of their drones dropped. I'm saying an individual's drone. Some individual sent it up to see what was going on, and it just dropped it.
Oh, so it like manipulated the other drone?
Right, it manipulated the individual's drone. Whatever these government drones are doing, they can turn things off as they are, interfering aircrafts.
Billy 22 asked the perfect question: what's the bag limit on drones?
Yeah.
That's coming to that, by the way. I don't think that's what Phil Murphy was doing when he says hunting for drones. I think he was, we'll call it drone watching, like bird watching, okay? The FBI, Homeland Security, state police, and other agencies are investigating. Murphy and law enforcement officials have stressed that these drones don't appear to be a threat to public safety, but many states and municipal lawmakers have nonetheless called for stricter rules about who can fly the unmanned aircraft and to be allowed to shoot them out of the sky. Who had this on their bingo card this year? Federal authorities said Monday evening that the sightings have included legal commercial drones, hobbyist drones, and law enforcement drones, as well as manned aircraft, helicopters, and even stars mistakenly reported as drones. Officials said that assessment was based on technical data and tips. Okay, just FYI, no matter what, whether it's like a sighting of a mountain lion in Minnesota, you're going to have some misidentified, dog in a ditch that someone saw, or a bobcat. Doesn't mean that there aren't cougars in Minnesota, okay? So they do exist. So no matter what it is, it doesn't detract from the fact that this is a real story, okay? Obviously it is. We got the AP reporting on it. What has been seen in New Jersey? Dozens of witnesses have reported seeing drones statewide since mid-November, including near the Picatinny Arsenal, a military research and manufacturing facility, and over President-elect Donald Trump's golf course in Bedminster. Murphy, a Democrat, said Monday that drone detection equipment supplied by the federal government has yielded little new information. He declined to describe the equipment except to say it was powerful and could even disable the drones, though he said that's not legal on U.S. soil. Murphy urged Congress to give states more authority to deal with the drones. Go ahead.
Yep, we got a $5 rumble rant from Brad Ganser. Says the drone conspiracy is a nothing burger. Trump, who gets intel briefings, has said there is no risk to the public and doesn't understand why the Biden administration.
Oh, Brad, we're going to get into it.
Clean.
Brad, we're going to get into it. And Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, it says, ask Liberty Longbeard about cougars.
Yeah.
Fair point. I've heard he knows a thing or two. Okay, so this is the case. Now, this is John Kirby. Yesterday, go ahead and pull this up. This is on Fox News with Brett Baer. Okay, so do we all understand? There clearly are drones, unidentified objects that are flying. Okay, just so you know, I'm not going down the alien conspiracy theory. Although the alien conspiracy is interesting. They're mimicking the red and green lights so that we think that they're worldly. That's an interesting conspiracy. Because that's the thing. It's like, if they were aliens, they wouldn't have the red and green blinking lights, right? That's just the typical thing you do with aircraft in the United States. Or, I'm sorry, of this world. The fact that I even got to say that is just crazy. So this is John Kirby speaking on behalf of the freaking White House, communications advisor, talking to Brett Baer at Fox News. Go ahead and play it.
Joining us now to talk about these mysterious drones flying over parts of the U.S., White House National Security Communications Advisor, retired Admiral John Kirby. John, thanks for being here. Okay. You hear all of these officials. You've heard a lot of concern, a lot of coverage. Where are you tonight on this?
As we look at the information we've got, Brett, and we've now examined some 5,000 different sightings, we've added detection capabilities, additional observers. As you and I stand here today, to date, our assessment is that this is lawful, legal, commercial, hobbyist, and even law enforcement aircraft activity. Some of it's manned, some of it's unmanned. We absolutely acknowledge that a lot of these are probably drones, but they're flying legally, and it is legal to fly drones in non-restricted airspace as long as you're registered with the FAA. And there's
stop for a second there. Okay, now notice how he says it's legal in non-restricted area. So we're gonna go after him on that. But once again, they're flying drones at night. Why would commercial and just typical drone operators, by the way, that's assuming they own these big 8-foot drones in the first place. That sounds goofy. Why would they be flying them at night? What are they getting from flying these drones at night? I mean, they have like FLIR devices? And if they had FLIR devices, what are they doing with FLIR devices? Why would commercial or just your typical recreational drone person be flying these at night? Big question right there. Go ahead.
Of these kinds of flights every single day. I think there's more than 1 million drones that are registered with the FAA just in the United States alone.
But this is different, it seems. These are bigger. They're 6 feet in diameter, a lot of them. There was a reporter the other day that saw 50 coming from the coast at one, pack. I know when you first came out, you said that most of these are manned. Can you concede that maybe most of these are not manned?
Well, I said was at the time, and this was Thursday, when we were not as informed as we are today based on the resources we have applied to the problem
set. You see his hand movement
many of the reported
sightings
getting
caught in the lie, so I've got to create some space.
When we said it on Thursday, we still believe, Brett,
now I brought it back home.
Some of these are, in fact, manned aircraft. I couldn't give you a breakdown of what percentage, but we do believe that still some of these sightings are in fact manned aircraft. We also acknowledge that a lot of them are unmanned aircraft. But again, our assessment to date, given all the work that we've done, the FBI, state and local officials, that these are legal and lawful drones flying for the common good.
Okay, the Homeland Security Secretary said over the weekend that right now they don't have any foreign involvement, criminal activity. We don't see them as a national security concern. How can you get to that point? How can you get to that conclusion with what you're seeing?
Because we've done the analysis, we've done the detection and the analysis, we've corroborated the sightings, and in every case that we have examined to date, we have seen nothing that indicates a public safety risk. There are drones flying over the skies of the United States every single night, every single day, and we've seen nothing.
Real quick. Do you see? This is a tactic they use when they're going to lie to the public. They conflate it, right? So it's like he's kind of addressing more of a, I wouldn't say singular event, but a more specific thing. So all the sightings, and then he goes to, there's millions of drones every day, and it's like, no one's asking you about the millions of drones a day. What they're asking you about is specific ones. And even if you look at that, you didn't investigate all these because a lot of people have, and they know that there's no plane or airplane or aircraft that's being tracked by the FFA in the air at that time. So he's lying about that, and then he conflates it to being like, we know there's millions of drones being flying every day in America. No one's asking about the millions of drones that are explained. They're asking about something specific that's not explained.
Right, because you'd think that this has to be coordinated with, aviation like you're talking about, because all of these pilots and everything have maps and everything on their planes so that they can identify when they're, about to fly by another flying object. And so considering that they're supposed to be in communication with that and they should be appearing on some sort of radar, you'd think that they are to avoid crashes and whatnot, but if they're not in communication, it shows even more trouble with what's going on, and that they're, but the biggest part is that the government is covering up for them and not telling the people the truth and not being upfront about it. It makes you wonder, what are they really covering up? What story is really going on to distract us from this? And but none of this is making any sense. And when they got the White House guy on Fox News to try to cover it up, it shows that there's something else going on.
All right, keep playing there, Dawson.
In and around New Jersey that should give the people on the ground there concerns for their safety for this activity, and we've seen nothing working with the Department of Defense as well that indicates a foreign adversary actor involved or any kind of pernicious national security threat. Now there have been some drone sightings, I think, as you know, over some military bases. We're obviously looking at that. That is a different category, and DoD has different authorities to deal with that.
You see that?
But again, we've also seen
Like that
no
was the question from the beginning, kind of, right?
Operations at our bases in New Jersey either from any of this.
Okay, here's the president-elect today.
Okay, let's go ahead and stop it because I am going to play that too. So, once again, he's conflating this stuff purposely to shield it. Now, of course, there's misidentifications, and of course, there's residential and some commercial drones as well, but that's not the case here. There's plenty of sightings, including over military bases, which he just then throws in at about the 3-minute mark. Let's go to this C3 here, Dawson. This is reported by multiple different agencies. This is out of Cincinnati. So it's not just New Jersey, by the way. Drones shut Wright-Patterson Air Force Base's airspace down for several hours late on Friday. Because, as they put, unidentified drones. We're all going with drones nowadays, right? Which is interesting. Robert Perdaman, a spokesperson for Wright-Patterson, said small unmanned aerial systems, I guess now we're calling them UASs, not UAPs. Although, what are UAPs? Unexplained aerial phenomenon?
A is not explained.
Aerial, whatever. No, unexplained. No, meaning U is unexplained. What is UAP? That's the new term for UFO.
I can look it up.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's like
unidentified anomalous phenomena.
Oh, I was way off. Got the phenomenon kind of right. All right, so there you go. That UAP is that new term. So far, quote, our leadership has determined that none of the incursions impacted any of our residents, facilities, or assets, Pertman said. We're taking all the appropriate measures to safeguard the installation and all our residents. No property was damaged or residents harmed, he added. The airfield was shut down for about 4 hours late Friday evening into early Saturday morning, Pertman said. So whatever these things are, shut down an Air Force base. Or an airspace, I should say. Air Force airspace. Air Force bases airspace. Say that 3 times fast. Air Force bases airspace. You think if you have a show on the internet, you should be able to talk. That's not part of the requirements, guys. All right. I'm just bringing you the news here, even if I can't read it. And then there's a story that I think this is the 50, I want to say that was the 50 drones that were seen on sea that was following a submarine. Look that up. Google that really quick, Dawson. Just type in drone submarine. This was reported by multiple different outlets. This was late last week, and it was a good contingent of them. How many does it say?
What does what say?
Drones and submarine. Or what are we seeing here in the news?
Underwater drones being developed by Navy.
That's not it.
It's mostly that. Advertisements.
Type in drones Navy then. What comes up if we do that? I thought it was submarines.
I don't know what you're looking for.
Maybe it wasn't a submarine. Was it an aircraft carrier? What the hell was it?
I don't know.
Just get rid of submarine then. And it should be drones, not drone. There you go. What's that Newsweek one? Mysterious sightings in military bases and international problem. I'm going to get back to this one. Oh, by the way, I've also heard that it's possibly in other countries, which is then really interesting. I'll get back. I'll find out what I was trying to talk about. But there was something, I thought it was like maybe it was in some kind of naval asset, but they were following them. Anyhow, so they shut down literally an Air Force base's airspace. And then we've got Trump, and this is just interesting, and I think it was it Brad that was mentioning?
Brad. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so well, at least we got Trump to make this thing real easy and just put our minds at ease. Here's what Trump has to say about the drones yesterday when he's asked by a reporter. This is interesting.
Is this the one?
This is the one.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey ports? It seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster. Want to know the truth? They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
Have you been regular?
Okay. Oh man. Well, at least we got it much. That puts our mind at ease, doesn't it? I think what it was a Coast Guard. Drones following a Coast Guard ship. This is, I'll send this one. This is Fox News. There's many different reporting on it. Dusty, I'm going to pop this into, before I opine on that, I'm just going to drop it at line 28.
Okay.
And this was last week. And this was according to Representative Chris Smith in New Jersey. But dozens of drones trailed a Coast Guard vessel off New Jersey. By the way, this is him reporting it, which could be multiple sources reporting that he said this, and maybe it was misidentification. But that's the story: is that dozens of these drones are following one of the Coast Guard ships. Okay, got up for some reason. It's a naval submarine, but that'd be crazy. All right, so let's go back to what Trump says. And Trump says what a lot of us just tend to believe in this case, which is probably the truth. These are the damn government's drones, and they're lying to us because they don't want us to know why they're flying these drones. Do we have a unanimous agreement on this set right now that that's what's going on?
What is it?
That they're U.S. government drones, and they don't want us to know why they're flying them?
I can be sold on that, but I think that the reason why is a distraction. I think it's pretty clear that it's a distraction.
So you're thinking that?
Well, I think they're collecting something. They're not flying over for no reason. I think they're obviously collecting something, especially at night.
What data does the U.S. government?
Well, hold on. This is actually very interesting. Yeah. So we all on this set, and I'd be curious what you guys think at home, but we all on this set agree that the federal government's drones, including Trump, we have three different views on why they're doing it. You think they're distracting us probably from something else that we should be paying attention to. You think they're collecting data for something. And I think that they're probably some kind of missile defense or trying to detect a threat like a nuclear, like a dirty bomb or something. So we have three different things. But at least we agree that they're U.S. government drones. They know what the hell they're doing. So in other words, John Kirby's lying. What do you guys think about the government lying to you? I mean, I know it's kind of funny because they always do it to us, but holy God, they're doing it. Now, I was saying this to somebody yesterday. Like, I am pretty concerned there's a threat. Even if you take what we're all saying, like collecting data, distracting us from something else, or trying to defend from a real threat, at some point, I don't want to be anywhere near these freaking things, right? And I was thinking, if all of a sudden these were showing up in the Twin Cities area on a regular basis, I don't think I'm hanging around. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the most interesting things about what Trump just said is, I don't think I'm going to stay in Bedminster. And, you're just so used to him saying things off the cuff. Maybe he wasn't saying that off the cuff. Maybe he's not. I don't know. But if these were showing up around me, I'd be like, maybe I'm taking my family somewhere else right now. I don't know if I like where this is going.
I think I actually have to change my statement a little bit. I think that it's likely that it's a government drone type thing, or they are government drones, or they're drones from big mega corporations.
Military industrial complex type
could be
stuff, yeah.
Specifically because I think that what they're distracting us from was the massive story of last week, which was the United Healthcare CEO thing. And now that guy's in jail, and nobody's talking about it right now. Nobody.
Yeah, but I don't know, and that's actually 100%
his lawyer
true.
is Diddy's attorney's husband.
Yeah,
so
I know, but
it's a little weird.
I mean, that one.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't care enough about that one. Because there's too many things out in the world to care about. Whether or not that's maybe he's getting Lee Harvey Oswalded, or maybe he's the one who did it. I don't know.
It's just crazy to me that was all anybody was talking about for last week, and then this week there's not a trace of anything going on. I'm typically not even a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, but they wouldn't fly drones to cover up a murder. To get people to stop talking about it. People are going to talk about it regardless.
Well, I think that the thing that they're going to distract
anything,
from
it'd be
the
Syria. That Al Qaeda's taken over Syria is a bigger story than.
People are used to, stuff like that going on. But and I have seen some
freedom fighters, Jesse, not Al Qaeda, freedom fighters.
Yeah,
but
taking over Syria because we have to get rid of Assad. By the way, Marty says something perfect. That's actually what I was going to comment on. Really, on Donald Trump is the follow-up question, great follow-up question. Has this been part of your intelligence briefing? When, as Donald Trump said, no comment on something like that. So what are we to take that? So I see two different logical ways, meaning I have and I can't tell you, which fuck you, Donald Trump, for doing that. Or he's not. They're not telling Donald Trump. And by the way, they're supposed to give Donald Trump the same briefing the president gets, which, by the way, what is that nowadays? Do they read him like Dr. Seuss books? Who knows?
They jingle keys.
Did you laugh again? Did I get 2 jokes on you today? What? Like,
on a roll.
Maybe that's the thing, is they don't tell Donald Trump crap because they don't have to tell Joe Biden crap because he's not running the country right now. So I don't know. I mean, Jesse, you know Donald Trump better than I do. I don't know which one is it. I kind of think it could be either one. But if it's the former, I'd be pretty pissed at Donald Trump for not telling us, especially after saying, yeah, the government should tell us. So that makes me kind of think he doesn't know either because they're not telling him, which, holy crap, what is going on?
Yeah, I'd pretty much say the same thing. But, yeah, it's one of those things you can't say everything that's given to you on a highly classified document. So I don't know. I trust Trump's judgment on that one to tell us what he can.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's park that fourth one for our post show. We are way over hours. Not that we have like a time that we have to do, but we're almost 2:30 in.
We do have a cool story to take a look
Jesse won't be here on Thursday. We got Senator Wiesenberg and Representative-elect Drew Roach coming to the show on Thursday. That'll be fun. And then Sunday night, we got a special Rumble Studio one, as Dawson will be out of town looking for drones out on the East Coast. And then we will have a little break for Christmas. Maybe we should invite our Satanist friends over to enjoy the holiday with us. I don't know. Maybe that would mean something to them. Maybe it wouldn't. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe we should learn more about these people. It looked like Andy found out who the leader was, and he's going to contact them for his radio show. That's good. That's good radio.
I bet they're the type that say, don't hang out with your Trump relatives for Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's their style. So people that want to segregate themselves, let them.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. I don't know. Well, thank you very much to the Rumble Rants, to our sponsors. If you want to join us on the post show, like a lot of other people, getting a lot of annual subscribers, $88 a year, otherwise $8 a month. But you get a month off if you do it yearly. It's kind of cool. Makes a great Christmas present. I never even thought of that. I just thought of it on the spot. But you actually support a good cause. We're going to try to do a lot of big things, including drone hunting. We got to do a Truth Hurts drone hunting. Being a premium subscriber, go to truthhurtsnews.com and sign up today. We're going to be on locals here with our post show. Those that already are premium subscribers know exactly where to go. If you are new and you want to sign up right now, we'll be probably live in a couple minutes. So you'll sign up and then I'll give you a locals account. You'll see us right there. Otherwise, if you're watching after the fact, you can still be a premium subscriber and watch it later on. What else? We'll talk about this new fraud case in Minnesota there and some other stuff. Thank you to our sponsors. Warren West of Keller Williams Realty. If you're looking to buy a home or sell a home, give Warren a call. John Galt Mortgage Company for all your financing needs when you're buying a new home. And also Alpine Camptree in St. Cloud, Minnesota. We'll see all of our premium subscribers and locals right after this in 1 minute. Everyone else, we'll see you here on Thursday. Take